Hello everyone, welcome back to a new video.
Ages. Today I recap The Land That Time Forgot, a 1974 sci-fi adventure where World War I survivors discover a hidden island full of dinosaurs and prehistoric dangers. A German U-boat and its prisoners find themselves lost at sea, only to stumble.
So, grab your popcorn, turn off the lights, and enjoy my quick recap to save your precious time.
After wandering in the sea for several days, the soldiers suddenly spotted a strange sight. Right in front of them stood an icy mountain, an iceberg. Everyone was surprised and curious to see this, because there had never been any record of an iceberg on the route they were on. Now they found themselves in a difficult situation. Although there could have been some unknown danger near the iceberg, all their food and water had run out after wandering for such a long time. The situation was such that there was no time to think too much. Hoping to find something to eat or drink, they took their boat near the iceberg, but upon reaching there, they realized there was nowhere to stop, and there was no sign of life on that island. Just then, a soldier noticed that the water they had drawn up was warm, and moreover, it was fresh water. This convinced them that there must be a river nearby that flows into the sea. And just as they had thought, that's exactly what happened. A little further ahead, there was an underground river. They were confident that if they followed the river, they would definitely find something to eat. So what next? They started rowing the boat against the current of the river. But as the boat moved forward, they realized that it wasn't as easy as they had thought. The path ahead was filled with strange rocks and was very dangerous. Some turns were so tight that they had to squeeze past the rocks to get through. The journey was quite frightening, but soon they saw a way out. As soon as the boat reached the surface of the water, a strange creature darted past in the blink of an eye. Ryder thought that maybe his eyes were playing tricks on him. When he looked again, there was nothing there, but a sense of unknown danger arose in his heart. However, this feeling soon turned into surprise. When Ryder and the others got out of the boat, they saw that they had entered an entirely different world. This place was filled with unknown dangers, and the shadow of death lurked in every corner. They were most astonished when they saw a pterosaur flying in the sky, creatures that had been extinct for ages. In the distance, a diplodocus was calmly drinking water. Everyone was stunned to see this. They couldn't believe how prehistoric creatures could exist here. Once they regained their composure, they realized it wasn't safe to stay here for long. They had only come to look for food, not to become someone else's prey. But perhaps it was already too late. A dinosaur lunged straight at Ryder. Fortunately, a companion handed him a gun just in time. Ryder fired several shots, but the dinosaur wasn't seriously hurt. Just then, their cook arrived to help, carrying an MP-18 gun. He and Ryder fired a barrage of bullets together. At last, badly wounded, the dinosaur collapsed onto the deck. With such a shortage of food, boiled plesiosaur meat was a magnificent feast. The food problem was solved, but now the boat was almost out of fuel. After filling their stomachs out of necessity, they had no choice but to land on that forgotten earth. They had only gone a short distance when they saw two dinosaurs eating in the bushes. They immediately prepared to attack, but suddenly some primitive humans emerged from behind and attacked them with sticks without saying a word. Hearing the sounds of the fight, the dinosaurs started moving toward them. Interestingly, upon seeing this, the primitive humans ran away, leaving the soldiers to face the dinosaurs alone. Although the dinosaur's skin was thick, it couldn't withstand the continuous barrage of bullets and was killed. Just then, when one of the unconscious primitive humans regained consciousness, Ryder caught him. That primitive human was frightened and kept pointing in one direction. Although no one could understand his language, his anxious face made it clear that he was warning them about some danger. Without wasting any time, everyone took the primitive human and returned to the boat. During the conversation there, the primitive human showed great interest in the matches. He was trying to explain something with his hands. Fortunately, the people present there understood what he was trying to say. They thought that perhaps he had seen a volcano or a source of fuel. The captain immediately poured a little oil onto his hand. Seeing the excited look on the primitive human's face, they realized how right their decision was to bring him along. If he guided them, they could reach the oil reserves while avoiding dangers. After this, everyone set out again. But on the way, the primitive human suddenly stopped and refused to go any further. Eli thought that perhaps this was the boundary of the primitive human's territory and he was afraid to cross it. But one of the soldiers didn't want to waste any time and fired a shot at a skull to threaten him. Faced with this threat, the poor primitive human had no choice but to comply. But perhaps for his own safety, the primitive human led them into the territory of a dangerous dinosaur. Ryder sent the primitive human and the others ahead and stayed behind with the captain to distract the dinosaur. But those who had gone ahead signaled the boat to attack. As soon as the signal was received, the cook turned on the searchlight to locate the dinosaur and attacked it with the cannon. The poor dinosaurs never understood, even in their dying moments, that they were only trying to protect their children, and the humans attacked them mercilessly. When tears fell from the mother dinosaur's eyes, Ryder and the captain realized their mistake. The next morning, the primitive human led them to their destination. There really was a lot of oil there. This meant that they could soon leave the island. To quickly refine the oil, everyone worked together to build a temporary refinery using whatever was available there. When the diesel was finally ready, everyone burst into joy. To save time, the captain divided the team into two groups. He would continue refining the oil with a few people, while Ryder would go with the rest to arrange for food. Ryder's team had only gone a short distance from the camp when they spotted a village of cavemen on a hill. They were surprised to see that the cavemen had learned to use tools. Just then, one of the soldiers sensed something was wrong nearby. But before he could say anything, a caveman attacked him from hiding and killed him. The very next moment, a large number of cavemen emerged from the bushes. Ryder fired his gun, forcing them to retreat. Ryder told his companions to circle around and surround the cavemen from the sides. But the cavemen were clever too. They imitated animal sounds to distract the soldiers and then attacked from hiding. Hearing the noise, Ryder ran to help, but he fell into the cavemen's trap. He himself got surrounded, and the cavemen also seized the opportunity to capture the lone Ellie. Ryder had just barely escaped that trouble when suddenly a pterosaur swooped down from the sky. Ryder thought of fighting back, but he was out of bullets for his gun. At that very difficult moment, the caveman whom Ryder had saved earlier appeared in front of him. He pushed Ryder out of the way and saved him, but ended up becoming prey to the flying dinosaur himself. Ryder wanted to save him, but he couldn't do anything and could only watch as the dinosaur carried him away right before his eyes. Recovering from this shock, Ryder remembered Ellie. He saw that the cavemen had surrounded Ellie. He was just trying to think of a way to save her when a volcano erupted in the distance. The loud explosion scared everyone, and the cavemen started running in all directions. Ellie took advantage of the situation and ran away, but some cavemen were still chasing her. Ryder immediately ran to save her. When he arrived, he saw that both Ellie and a caveman had fallen into a swamp. Without thinking, Ryder kicked the caveman, but in the process, he himself also fell into the swamp. Fortunately, both of them grabbed onto a floating log and somehow made it to the shore. But the caveman wasn't so lucky, and after struggling for a while, he drowned. When the two of them made it back to camp, they saw that the captain and the rest of the soldiers had already left. Disheartened, Ryder and Ellie started running toward the river. The situation was getting worse all around. Many dinosaurs had died because of the volcanic eruption. Meanwhile, on the submarine, the captain wanted to wait for Ryder and Ellie, but the other soldiers were not willing to stay. When the cook protested, they shot him. When the captain tried to stop them, they didn't spare him either. After doing all this, they started the submarine. At that very moment, Ryder and Ellie had reached the shore. They kept shouting, but the submarine didn't stop. Ryder had to accept that they had been left behind. But the journey of the departing submarine was not easy either. Now lava had filled the water below, making it impossible for the submarine to descend. The submarine was violently shaken by falling rocks from above, causing everyone inside to lose consciousness. The out-of-control submarine slowly sank into the water. Ryder and Ellie witnessed all of this with their own eyes. When everything became quiet, the two of them left that place. Supporting each other, they kept moving northward. They held hope in their hearts that they would escape this forgotten world, but that wish was never fulfilled. In the end, they sealed all their hopes inside a bamboo box, hoping that maybe one day someone would find it. This film was released in 1975. Its original name was Star Zoological Age, which was later changed. Although the depiction of dinosaurs in the film seems a bit crude and awkward, it doesn't affect its imagination or excitement. It was a film filled with courage and imagination. This story is based on the novel by science fiction writer Burroughs. Many people may not know this author, but his other creation, Tarzan, is still loved by people all over the world.